So today we're going to be doing legs, and the topic for discussion is going to be love. Now, I'm going to shoot out of the gates pretty quick here. I know nobody's ever seen God, but God lives in us, and through love, through loving ourselves and loving each other, then God Himself becomes apparent in our day-to-day activities. And when you take time to love somebody else, it doesn't have to be boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, but if you take time to love somebody else, spend time with them, to really try to understand their heart, their feelings, and trying your best to make them feel loved, and not, again, relationship way, but a compassionate way that validates their feelings, validates their experiences again. Then we become more than just people that know each other. We become brotherly, sisterly. We become what God intended for us to be. Beings that love each other. And you know He gave us the capacity to love, and He gave us the hearts and the souls to connect. You always hear people saying, well, this is my soulmate, right? Well, I believe that there's more than just soulmates. There's soul friends, soul neighbors, soul strangers. There are people out there that are so compatible with you that you don't have the chance to ever know that if you don't talk and spend time, getting to know them and potentially loving and understanding them as a brother, again, sister, neighbor. That's somebody who's not just a stranger, but somebody who's capable of being loved and being with you. And so today, again, we'll be doing legs, and we'll be loving it because I love leg day. And we'll be going into deeper understanding of what exactly it means and what I believe we can do to make it more prevalent and really put it in our daily routines and practice it in a meaningful way. When we take time out of our day, maybe talk to a coworker, maybe even your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, and you just look at them and say, I love you. Most of the time they'll be taken back, because I know that even if we walk day to day with people that we know are family, that we're bound by blood to love and always be there for, sometimes we forget that that connection's that deep. And I can attest to this. I, of course, say goodnight to my mom every night, give her a kiss on the forehead, tell her I love her, hug her. But when it comes to my sister, she's my twin sister. I would do anything for her. She's the closest thing I have, and by blood. And I often find myself going months without saying I love her, months without even talking to her, even though she's right next to me all the time. And it's easy to forget that that connection exists. So when you take the time to really just take a breath and just remind that you are loved and that you are capable of loving, the world, it becomes bright again. And one of the biggest changes to my world that made everything so much better was my first love, my first girlfriend that is with me still to this day. I met her back when I worked at a vet clinic, and we've been together for almost 2.5 years now. And I never had a girlfriend previous. I was always a big kid, so I never really went for girls. But I lost a lot of weight and I was confident, and so she made me do something from the very beginning that I had never done before and never imagined myself doing, which was walking up to her and just hitting her up with a cheesy pickup line and taking my chances. And it worked. She smiled, she laughed, and I got her Snapchat, and honestly the rest is history. But it was that hit to my psyche, that hit to my who I am as a person, that made me do something I never thought possible, that sparked that love. And it took about 2 months before the first I love you. And it was on a night where she was upset, and I went over and I just held her. I know it sounds cheesy, but nothing more personal could ever be accomplished than the physical presence of two beings. Being able to hold somebody, not just a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, but maybe putting your hand on your brother's shoulder, or just being shoulder to shoulder with your best buddy, your best girlfriend, stuff like that. That's the sign of love. That's the presence of love. And that is something that people don't really realize how it impacts. But unconsciously, it's something that a lot of people can't live without. Again, we're social creatures. We love being with other people, and when we're with people that love us and we love, then the world shines brightly. And for me, I'll always be thankful for the love of this girl of mine, because she took me from a dark pit and she helped me adjust my eyes and my heart to the world and what I was capable of as a man. You know, just seeing things differently that I never thought were possible before, because I had the presence of a girl that loved me, that wasn't my mom and my sister and my grandma. It was something I never experienced before, and to this day I'm still thankful for that, and I love her dearly. Love is great. Love is really nice. I've never done 315 on squat before. I know I could have gone lower, but it will be a work in progress, I guarantee you. And I guess a few weeks, probably, I'll be full on gain that depth. And of course, I'll show y'all. But, you know, I don't want to go too far. I just wanted to give it a try. Move on to deadlifts now. I'll probably shoot for 315 again. Just see how I do, but so I finished my deadlifts, and after that I did close foot placement leg presses. Hack squat was taken. I wasn't going to get an opportunity to go on that, so now I'm going to be doing leg extension. For leg extensions, I like doing drop sets. I'll start about 200 pounds. I'll do 10 reps. I'll drop down about 140. I'll go for 8 to 10 reps, and I'll drop down to like double-digit number, about 70, 80, and I'll do as many reps as I can till failure. I don't like going for maxes. I just like doing drop sets on it, because I like the fatigue and I like the muscle development that I've done from it. My quads have really developed as a result that I've seen from my leg pictures and my progression. So yeah, that's what I like to do for leg extensions. I just finished hack squats, calves, and now I'm up here on the turf. I'm gonna do lunges with dumbbells, 25 pounds. I'm sorry. I'm also going to do duck walks, and then I'm going to do just baseline jumping. It's something I do to keep up my agility, and obviously I'll record it and show what it looks like. But going back to the topic of love, love is like that. If you take it seriously, it's gonna hurt sometimes. But I'll be darned if you don't find yourself stronger because of it. Again, it doesn't have to be a significant other. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. Again, it could be a stranger. It's like good old reliable, right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife is gonna be squats, deadlifts, good old reliable. You're always going to do those, and they're going to hurt sometimes. They're going to be heavy. They're going to be challenging, and they're going to challenge you. And only those that really love, doing the squats, and those that truly love their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wives are going to be able to handle that pressure and get through that challenge, because they know that the results and the outcome of putting in the effort are going to be far better than the negatives that they may encounter while doing it. Doing a friend, like calves, family members, those are the calf workouts, the leg extensions, the lunges. Those are something that may not be as difficult, but take a lot of focus to continue that, that workout and to get the benefits from it. It's the same as with the family member or a friend, right? You're not gonna be with them all the time. So you have to put in effort and really fine tune the things that you say to your friends, to your family members when you have the opportunity to do it, that gets the point across that you love them. And it takes a lot of attention to detail and a lot of specifics to do it right. And, to really harness that relationship and nurture it the way that it's supposed to be, the same way you would nurture doing lunges, doing leg extensions. You're not supposed to go heavy. It's not supposed to be the most challenging, right? That's why they're family members and they're friends. They'll trust each other the same way you trust to be able to do extensions, lunges, and calves. It's not going to be difficult. You don't need to go super heavy. It doesn't have to be a super challenge, but you have to really do pay attention to it and nurture it so you can get the best outcomes. And it's going to fine tune and sharpen your ability to love and your capacity for it. Now, when it comes to like the neighbor metaphor, I would say like doing Bulgarian split squats, reverse lunges, like agilities like that, burpees. Those are the things that are strange to most people. A lot of people don't do those types of workouts because that's for Mr. Olympia. That's for, Olympians themselves. Those are things that are very difficult to master in the gym, and it takes a lot of time. And, it's foreign to a lot of people, and it's scary. The same way it would be scary to love a stranger, right? You don't know them. But if you were to approach a stranger, right, say, you're at work, you're on the street, and you see somebody having a hard time, they're having a bad day, they look miserable, the opportunity you have to show them love that you would show to a friend or a family member, it's strange, it's scary, it's something is far out of your comfort zone. And if you take the time to open your capacity and your ability to love, then you may just find yourself doing something that will take you to the next level. Mastering Bulgarian split squats, mastering reverse lunges, mastering the difficult leg day stuff. That's what separates Olympians from regular gym goers. The same way that being able to love a stranger, being able to love somebody you don't have that connection with, separates somebody that truly makes that positive impact and follows what God and Jesus want us to do, which is love thy neighbor and treat others as you want them to treat you. Those are the people that really are next level. Those are the people that are role models. Those are the people that are leaders. Those are the people that have impact on not just others, but a wider array, communities, cities, even states, nations. Those are what separate great people from, regular people, is that ability to take a step out of your comfort zone and take a chance on showing that capacity for loving a stranger and for loving somebody you don't talk to and see ever. And being able to love is another amazing gift from God. Being able to open your heart, open your mind, open your soul to another person without even knowing them, that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength, and it takes a lot of trust. And, it's something that a lot of people are scared of. I know for a fact there are a lot of people out there that see strangers that are having a bad time and they just simply walk past them. It's like the bystander effect almost. If somebody's hurt, you may go through each and every one of your days going, oh, I would help somebody if they're in danger. But then you find yourself in that situation, maybe you've seen in a video of somebody hurt and people just watch. And then there comes that one individual that helps them and is able to break that bystander effect. And those are the types of people, they may not be world leaders, But there are a lot of people hidden in their world that have that capacity for love, and sometimes it takes a situation like that. But a lot of times if somebody shows love and somebody's outgoing to other people out of nowhere and just do it regularly, they might be deemed weirdos, they might be deemed outcasts, because that's not normal. It's not normal to always smile and love and have deep conversations with strangers. A lot of people are uncomfortable to that, but there are people out there that love doing that. And a lot of times they're outcasts, but those people are special. Those people love unconditionally, and they want you to feel that love, even if you're a complete stranger. And so, again, if you're able to love strangers and have that capacity, then you're truly accomplishing what I believe is the pinnacle of love that God wants us to practice, and what Jesus wants us to be a role model, just like him. And, when he would walk around preaching, doing his sermons, he would help others in danger. He would help, he would heal the blind. He would give unconditionally, and that's what we should be doing. We may not be the Messiah. We may not be the Holy Spirit. What we can do is we can follow in their footsteps and really practice love in its fullest potential, in its rawest form, which is helping and loving unconditionally. Now I'm about to do these lunges. Am I going to love them? Yeah, I'm going to love them. So, going over the idea of love, of course I want to give my personal experience, right? Making sure we're good. Okay. For me, it started with my adoption, right? Me and my twin sister's adoption. Obviously, on the grand scheme of things, we got lucky. We were adopted at, I think, 3 weeks old. And God bless the mother and father, right? They really did take a chance on me and my sister, because they had already had 2 children and then adopted another girl, my older sister. And, they're up there again, 40, 44 years old. And, at that age, it's a real difficult decision to take on something like 2 brand new babies, right? And, I grew up, of course, never questioning, hey, why am I, dark complexion, obviously Hispanic, and both of my parents are, obviously German, European descent, right? Southern. And I never questioned that. I was not taught to question that, right? Because racial, awareness is something that's taught to you by parents and stuff like that. So for me, I knew I was loved, and I never questioned it. I knew those were my parents. In my heart and in my soul, those were the 2 beings that loved me and nurtured me, right? So it started there. I grew up playing baseball. I still play baseball. And my dad and my brother were always there for me. That's who I had. I had those strong male influences to show me what love was, and to give me examples of what it means to be cared about. And my mother, she of course took her time. She reminded me that school was more important, and to focus on my intellect, because one big issue I had growing up, as a result of my biological mother, she did, drugs whenever me and my twin sister were in her body. She drank. Not a good person. And, I came out with severe ADHD. No deformities, I was blessed for that, but severe ADHD. And, I went through kindergarten, 1st grade, and I always noticed that I could never focus whatsoever. And I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't told that I had ADHD. My mom would say that I was fidgety. But I didn't understand what was wrong with me, right? But then I started having to take, I'm trying to remember the ADHD medicine, Focalin, and it would really dumb me down. I wouldn't have any sort of emotion. I would be devoid of any interest in anything. I would just be a learner, right? I wasn't, energized, but I was focused. And, my mom and my dad made me aware whenever I did understand, hey, why am I taking this medicine? It's because you have more trouble than others understanding. And for me, it wasn't a message saying we don't love you. I was, of course, confused and I was scared, right? I didn't, I had a lot of passion as a kid. I still have a lot of passion, as you can tell. I love talking with other kids. I love socializing. I love being in the group. But when I was told for the first time I was different in an aspect, that it came full circle, right? And most parents obviously love and nurture their children. I would hope so, right? Don't want to be naive here, but for my parents in that moment, it was absolutely unconditional. They reassured me, hey, just because you don't sit the same way the other kids sit, just because they're not as energetic as you are, does not mean you're lesser than. It does not mean that you have an issue with you. But this is something that, yes, with this medication, it will help you not be so overly, focused on a lot of different things. Even to this day, I of course stopped taking the medicine a long time ago, but even to this day, I'll still have those little moments of losing focus, and I'll talk a lot and I'll fidget. I still do fidget a little bit. Like if I get bored, I'll start tapping a pencil or humming or something like that. It even extends to my sleep. I have severe restless body syndrome, not just leg syndrome, but I'll twitch and I'll shake in my sleep. But regardless of any of that, my parents love me. They love me to death. And they love me so much and they nurtured me so much that I think it was 2nd or 3rd grade, I got one of those letters from Duke because I had turned my math class around and I had excelled at math to such a degree that Duke sent me one of those invites for their special kids programs, because I had really great test scores around 3rd to 5th grade, and it was consecutive. I was acing all my classes, constantly getting all A's, and I had that surge in intellect. And I never once in those years felt like I was lesser than. My mother and father never made me feel like I was a menace because of it. They loved me and they helped me understand why I was different and what I can do to make that something special and not like an outcast type situation. And really for me, that was the first serious idea of love that I had, right? Was that nurturing. And for me, that's what created the intense bonds with my parents that I have. I never once argued with them. I never had issues with my mom and dad. And I'm so blessed for that, right? A lot of kids and parents have issues. They fight, they bicker, they kick them out of the house. They do a lot of things to show their parents that they're rebels and stuff like that. I never had that, I was loved. Unbelievably loved. And I am so blessed, and I thank God every day for my parents. And for me, it's my turn, right? It's my turn to show that love to others. And again, the first biggest real chance I had at showing that I am capable of loving and I can be that type of person was with my girlfriend. I, of course, again, never had a girlfriend until now, 2021. I had to understand what it was like to love somebody that wasn't my blood relative or a friend. And it wasn't, it wasn't a bro, right? It was a girl. So I had to learn how to love differently. And I had to learn how to be loved in that type of capacity. And what I would always remind myself of is I would never be with her if I didn't love her. I was never going out I was never looking for girls to, flings, stuff like that. I told myself, I'm only going to look for girls that will be my wife. That are going to be the rest of my life. And my girlfriend
from the bottom of my soul, I feel that. I never once approached her with the intent for anything less than marriage. And of course, time is its own thing, right? You know, we're gonna get married in our own time. We're gonna have all those things happen in our own time. But I truly feel like God guided me towards her, guided us together, and allowed me that time in my life when I needed it most, because I was at a point in my life where I was kind of getting a little bit like day in and day out. Having that difference at that time in my life boosted me. I was blessed to find her at the time that I found her, and I was blessed to have that love. And I still am to this day. The amount of love I have for her is not dwindled down whatsoever. It only gets better and better with each passing day. And so you have to ask yourself, hey, if I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife, how can I feel that type of love? And it's strangers. It's strangers. You need to love a stranger as if they were your own brother or sister. There's so many people out there that go day in and day out with love, affirmation, nurturement, nothing like that. And so, like I said earlier in the video, you need to come out of that comfort zone. Love somebody out of nowhere. It doesn't have to be a kiss. It doesn't have to be a hug. But it can be something like acknowledgement. It can be a pat on the shoulder. It could be a thumbs up. Body language is powerful. And it's powerful when it comes to love. Giving not just your mental attention, but your physical attention to somebody, like squaring up with them, showing that, like, looking at them, that's love within its own right. People love having the attention on them. Even introverts love having attention, but it has to be a special type of attention. And it could be something as little as just saying, I'm proud of you. It could be something as big as, a big bouquet of flowers, a big expensive ring, a nice car. There are a lot of different ways to show love, and there's no wrong way to show love. But a lot of people have their types of perceptions of what the love they would like to receive is. And I think everybody's baseline is just that word of affirmation, right? The, hey, you look great today. Or, now you're really killing it. Like, you're doing great here at work. I wish I could be like you. Putting people in the spotlight in a meaningful way is a great way to show strangers that you have that capacity for love. And it's not creepy. It's not something you can, be afraid that will come and kick you back in the butt. People love being acknowledged. Again, it doesn't have to be a big hug or a kiss, anything like that, right? But putting them in a spotlight in a meaningful way. It could be one-on-one, it could be in a group. But every now and then, it feels so good to have the spotlight on you. And you really appreciate and you remember those moments. And it's something that we feel without even thinking about it. Like today, I was doing leg extension. I noticed this guy, he was doing deadlifts. And he was rounding out his back, right? And he looked strong. And I walked up to him and I was like, hey brother, do you mind if I, give you an example of a deadlift and you can compare how you do it with me? And he was like, yeah, go ahead, show me. So I did my deadlift, having a nice strong back, activating your lats and using your arms to keep straight. And I did my deadlift. And he watched me and he said, I see what you mean. He said, I have a feeling that I round my back out. And like I said, he looked strong. He looked like he's been working out for quite some time. And he was just rounding his back on 135. And, I was talking to him. I was like, you look strong. There's nothing worse than, potentially getting into your 40s or 50s, right? And your back just shot. You can't, hold your kids. You can't play with your, family members, anything like that, right? And I said, even if it doesn't hurt now, it could hurt in the future. And maybe to him, it was, I don't know how he took it. He was thankful and he, really appreciated it, from a body language and verbal level. But I have no idea just how deep that may have reached him. It may have been surface level, right? He could have just been like, oh, get out of here, leave me alone. Or he could have been like, this complete stranger walked up to me and gave me advice because he wanted me to not hurt my back. He wanted me to do it correctly. And I complimented him. I said, you look strong. And you're doing 135 and you're rounding your back, but you're doing it so easily. And then he tried deadlifting after I had talked to him. And he looked so flawless, right? He looked great. And I complimented him. And he smiled and he said, thank you. I really appreciate it. And You know, as guys, most of the time you couldn't possibly imagine, you know, like walking up to another dude or going and rating a dude with, you know, thank yous and, you know, stuff like that. But I know a lot of us, even if we put on a big scary face or we look all, you know, mean and muscular, I know a lot of us just want to be acknowledged and, you know, complimented. And so something as simple as that, right? That is a showcasing of love. Again, love doesn't have to be kissing and hugging. Love can be attention. Love can be help. It's the same way Jesus loved, right? He loved strangers because he acknowledged them. He wanted to help them. That is love. Love doesn't have to be some grand gesture. Love can be something as simple as that. And so you have to ask yourself, am I capable of showcasing love to strangers? Yes, everybody's capable of it. Even nonverbals, even special needs, they're capable of showing love. You're capable of it. We all are. It's what God put in our hearts and our souls, that capability to love. That is a blessing. Not just to love another, but to spread the love that God wants us to spread. Now, of course, you can love your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, friend. But to be able to love a stranger, again, is that next level. And it doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be simple. And for me, that is something I strive to do every day. Especially as an opportunity at my work, I love talking to people. And I love showcasing that love, complimenting them, you know, blessing them, just being there present. And so many smiles are caused because of it. And I'm thankful for that every day. So I have to ask y'all, you know, to go out there and showcase love. And again, you know, try to comment examples. Think about it. What is my capacity for love? I know a lot of y'all have work. A lot of y'all work out. And you have that availability. So the challenge for me to y'all is to go out there and take a little tiptoe out of your comfort level and show a stranger that you love them. Compliment them. It's a blessing to be able to do that. To feel that love. To feel just that inner bliss in your soul that what I'm doing is what God wants me to do. And again, when you love somebody and you show them love to a stranger, not only are they going to be happy, but you're going to feel so good. And that's going to go with you the rest of your day. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe a week, a month, a year. It builds up. And the reason you feel so good is because you were meant to do that. Those things that you do when you get nothing but a pure feeling of happiness, those are the things that in our souls we are meant to do. You're never going to feel bad about complimenting or helping a stranger. You're never going to feel reluctant or regret helping and loving a stranger. You're always going to feel at peace. You're always going to feel happiness and joy. Because in our souls, we're meant to do that. And so, you know, that's my thought on the matter of love. I know I am loved. I know I am capable of loving others, and I try my best to do it. And sometimes I mess up. Sometimes I'll do it. Sometimes I won't do it. But I know that I'm capable of it. And I always try to practice it in a meaningful way. And, you know, just like legs, it's hard. It's hard to really master it. It's very hard. But when you put forth effort and you try with all your heart and all of your intent, it's going to be one of the most rewarding things in your entire life. I guarantee you that. Now, that's going to wrap up the video. I appreciate y'all listening to it. Again, I'm trying to constantly improve the process. I know, like, it might look funny on y'all's screens or phones that I'm shooting vertical or portrait. I'm trying to work on that. But it's not the way the video is presented. It's the words behind it. And that's what I want to go for. And, you know, I love y'all. I hope y'all are having a great day. I hope y'all, you know, holidays are coming up. I hope it's not too rough. You know, if any of y'all have any issues, you know, maybe y'all are lonely, maybe y'all won't have family Thanksgiving or family Christmas, message me, email me, comment on this video, you know, get in touch with me. I'll give you my phone number, we can talk, and I'll be there for you, because love is never ending, and love is always something you're capable of. So again, I thank y'all, I love y'all, I'll see y'all in the next one, alright?